A notable example is Todo, whose innate technique, Boogie Woogie,
Freeze! Everybody clap your hands.
Oh, I always needed an explanation for curse
Cursed
energy.
energy comes from negative emotions like anger, fear, and hatred. Everyone has it because everyone has these emotions, but only a few can control it.
Bro, when I be in the gym, I feel like I got unlimited levels of that shit because I just be like,
Sorcerers use cursed energy in two main ways, enhancement and techniques. For enhancement, they boost their physical abilities like strength, speed, and endurance. It's like powering up your punches and kicks. Keep in mind that negative emotions make this power stronger. So in a fight, a sorcerer who's angry will have a massive boost in power. There are two types of cursed techniques, inherited and innate. Inherited techniques are passed down through sorcerer families, like the Gojo family's Limitless, which
or who's his distant cousin? So many
lets
names.
them manipulate space. Innate techniques are unique abilities developed by individual sorcerers based on their personality and experiences. A notable example is Todo, whose innate technique, Boogie Woogie,
Freeze! Everybody clap your hands.
was acquired randomly. This randomness highlights a fundamental aspect. Sorcerers do not choose their cursed techniques. These abilities manifest spontaneously. The only freedom the individual has is how they use the technique. For example, Todo's Boogie Woogie is an innate curse technique. He didn't choose it, he just randomly got it, but the way he uses it is up to him. The most confusing part about this power system for people is understanding how certain techniques are connected to cursed energy. It's actually simple. For example, Todo's technique doesn't just switch the places of the targets like nothing. In the process, Todo uses space manipulation using cursed energy. In conclusion, cursed techniques are not just magic tricks. Every cursed technique can be explained since all of them are done by manipulating or creating certain things using cursed energy. For example, Gojo's Hollow Purple simply erases everything in its path. Most people don't understand how space manipulation is responsible for that move, but I can explain. To put it simply,
Please.
Gojo can use blue to attract anything and repel anything with red. So far, that is space manipulation. Hollow Purple is a mix of those. If you still don't understand, here's the explanation. If red is considered negative 100 and blue positive 100, their combination results in 0, thus nullifying everything in its trajectory. Also, every curse
I mean, like, I wasn't thinking about it like that. I just knew it was negative and positive, and I remember I saw like a professor that used it as an example to teach the class, and that was really interesting. But when he puts it like that, when he explains it for dummies, I'm like, I didn't think of it as an application like that, where 0, it just erases everything.
Cursed technique has a maximum. In other words, maximum techniques represent the ultimate expression and highest power level of a sorcerer's cursed technique. Now, let's move to domain expansion. Domain expansion is just your cursed technique, but in a wider radius. To put it simply, you create a room with your cursed energy in which your cursed technique is on steroids and a hit is guaranteed. For instance, if a sorcerer's technique generates fire at a single point, within a domain, they can produce fire
anywhere
omnidirectionally with ease. Executing a domain expansion requires immense concentration due to the substantial cursed energy needed to construct this space. This necessity for focus is why a hand sign is employed during the process. Using a basic curse technique necessitates less focus, whereas executing a domain expansion requires significantly more. Let's talk about some techniques that sorcerers can learn. First up is the simple domain. This is a defensive technique that
against domain, like complete domain expansions, right?
Creates a basic barrier to nullify or block the guaranteed hit effect of a domain expansion. Next,
I know
we
some.
have the reverse cursed technique.
The healing application, right? That is like one of the hardest applications of curse energy.
This technique converts negative cursed energy into positive energy for healing. By inverting cursed energy, sorcerers can heal injuries and regenerate tissues. Then,
and it is harder for a human to use reverse curse than it is a curse using it.
There's Black Flash. This phenomenon occurs when a physical hit lands within 0.0000001 seconds of releasing cursed energy, creating a spatial distortion. It amplifies the power of the attack by a factor of 2.5 because
that's insane too. And imagine, bro, Yuji Yuji is an insane example of strength. Like you saw it, I think it was like episode 1 or episode 2 when he was showing all his feats. Like he ran like around the track like in the blink of an eye. He did that shot put, broke the record. Dude is insanely strong, and just imagine him hitting you at 2.5 times his strength already.
Binding vows are self-imposed limitations, or contracts, that jujutsu sorcerers make using their cursed energy in exchange for increased power or specific abilities. For example, if a person makes a condition that enables them to use double the amount of their ability when their crush is looking, but in exchange, they will have to use half of their cursed energy all the time. Binding vows in Jujutsu Kaisen are more than just verbal statements. They are profound declarations of intent and commitment backed by the sorcerer's cursed energy. Heavenly restrictions are innate conditions that jujutsu sorcerers are born with. It is similar to a binding vow since it also balances advantages and disadvantages, but in this case, the person doesn't choose the conditions they are born with. To put it simply, it is similar to not being able to choose what gender you are born with or race. These restrictions are not chosen by the individual, but are naturally imposed from birth. In exchange for these inherent limitations, sorcerers often gain extraordinary compensatory abilities. For example, a sorcerer born without any cursed energy might possess superhuman physical strength, speed, and heightened senses as a result of their heavenly restriction. So, to recap, cursed energy comes from negative emotions and powers, all sorcerer abilities. Cursed techniques are unique methods of using this energy. Domain expansion creates a powerful space for guaranteed hits. There are learnable techniques and binding vows. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Curse Energy Simplified Part 2? We're gonna have to get into that some other time, but like, subscribe.